got your wig, ho. Ha ha. You're mad. Miss Wikiana. Miss Wikiana.
Meredith, you recently said in an interview that you talked to Jen Shah from prison. What was that conversation like?
One more question. Have you talked to Jen?
I have not. I don't know that she's really had communication with. I don't think so. I mean, I think she's in touch with, like, obviously her family and her manager, people like that. But I don't think she's really been in communication with anyone beyond that.
Have you been in touch with Jen Shah?
I have not. Occasionally, I'll have contact with Sharif. I did hear from him, I don't know, like a couple weeks ago, and occasionally I'll have contact with, like, her manager. He'll send a note, kind of checking in and saying how she's doing and stuff like that.
Do you know how she's doing?
It sounds like she's doing pretty well. Obviously, it's not an ideal situation for anybody, but given the circumstances, it sounds like she's, doing well, and she's found her footing there and is, I've heard that she's, like, doing fitness classes and at some point was, like, doing some makeup stuff, and, like, so she's finding something to do to fill the time, because it's a lot of time on your hands.
Does Sharif seem to be holding up as well?
He does. I mean, I think given what's going on, they're doing good, It's not what anyone wishes for in their life, of course, but, it is what it is. And
you are still in communication with Jen Shah?
Yeah, well, I spoke, she called.
Okay.
Like yesterday?
A couple months ago. And that's the only time I've ever
What's that
communicated
call like?
with her. It was
like
wild. I answered the phone and it's like, you
have a collect call.
Have a call from a federal penitentiary. I don't know. Something like it was like this.
And you must have
weird
immediately
voice.
assumed it was Jen.
Well, yeah, that's the only call I'd be getting from a federal penitentiary, at least that I'm aware of. It's limited to 10 minutes, and the recorded voice comes on probably every 3 to remind you that you're on the phone with a federal penitentiary.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, exactly. So, it was a very, like, simple call, because
she was just calling to say hi, just check in, see how the
pretty
kids
much, just kind of, it was really like, how's your family? What's, going on? She seemed relatively upbeat and, she seemed to be doing well. And
Didn't ask you, like, to bake a cake and put a spoon in it or anything like that?
No, none of that. None of that. No smuggling.
It was very brief. She called me. Obviously, I can't call her. And
how is that any worse than me talking to Monica?
What about Jen Shah? Has anyone heard from her? We need her back too, eventually.
You think?
I don't know.
I don't think we need her back. I will take Monica back for Jen.
Wow, you're open to having Monica back.
I don't want her back.
Okay, she thinks
but that's how on record I'd go about Jen.
Yeah.
You have to wait till reunion to see, but I did hold Meredith accountable. I have no idea why she's talking to that woman.
I didn't seek Jen out to dig dirt on my friends. Jen called me from prison after she's taken accountability, served time, and is paying restitution.
I'm sorry, but that woman traumatized us way more than Monica did. That woman trolled us harder and was way worse to all of us than Monica ever was. I mean, minus Angie and Heather. Monica was horrible to Angie and Heather, but I don't know why anyone's talking to Jen. She needs to heal, and her family needs peace. Like, no one needs to be bringing that drama back into our lives.
Amen. Well said.
So if you're really that thirsty for storyline, I might switch shows.
If they came,
I'm gonna get a real estate license. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Selling Salt Lake.
Yeah.
I think that you would be great at that. You would be amazing.
Doing the Jen thing again.
No. So if she were to come back eventually, I don't know logistically how that will work out.
Well, she's in prison, so I don't know how she'd come back.
Exactly.
But God bless Sharif and the family, and I send them love, health, wealth, and happiness. But if Jen was brought back, I'm gone.
She tormented
I would
us.
never
Well, that's
put
up to
myself
you.
on the
That's
list.
surprising because
And I was
usually.
there for you when she
So
did.
what is she supposed to do moving forward? She's served her time. She's paying restitution.
Well,
What
she's
is she
serving
supposed
her
to-
time.
Serving her time, correct, and paying her restitution, and has been accountable for it. So what do you think she should do? Just curl up in
lied
the
to all of
corner
your
and die?
faces.
She lied.
Like it's
All
not.
the way up
lied
to
to
the
all of
last
you.
day.
Okay. Okay, wait.
Can I what?
Can we turn it on? I need to go.
What is going on?
Why are the police here?
That's when I got a phone call. Well, it was a New York number. I answered it, and it was a detective saying, and what he said to me was, "Hi, this is Detective so-and-so. I just want to make sure, are you okay?"
And this is a true story.
So they randomly just chose your name to think that you and Stuart?
I have no idea, but I don't know any of the people that they asked me about.
You have no clue?
I have no clue what they're talking about.
How do you feel about your former first assistant, Stuart Smith, taking the stand against you? You described him effectively as your right hand, and now he's supposed to testify against you.
I'm fighting this. I am
fighting it.
innocent.
She's fighting it.
And I will fight for every person out there that can't fight for themselves because they don't have the resources or the means. You know, there are nearly 10,000 people a year that are wrongly accused and convicted of a crime they did not commit. And it's important to me to fight. It's important to me, one, because I'm innocent. I'm not guilty of any of these charges that that I've been accused of.
Any comment at all?
Are you gonna go to jail for 11 years?
The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Jen Shah pleaded guilty in her federal fraud case today in front of U.S. District Judge Sidney Stein. Since the housewife pleaded guilty to count 1, conspiracy to commit wire fraud in connection with telemarketing, the prosecutor agreed to drop count 2, which was conspiracy to commit money laundering. Shah allegedly scammed hundreds of people, specifically elderly, in a widespread telemarketing scheme.
You know, this whole time I've been telling Dana that, like, you know, she should get to know Jen and make her own assumptions on Jen. Don't go off of public opinion. You know, we're innocent until proven guilty. You don't want to assume she's guilty.
I was always trying to protect myself. Like, I don't want to be associated with someone like that.
That's 100% true. This isn't
Was
like
she doing a check-in?
we're going for a sleepover or something. This was a 10-minute phone call.
She really just treated your kids.
I agree.
There's been so much damage. The real problem for me, the crux of all of it, is she has made all these homophobic references, some in regards to Brooks, who has never spoken one way or the other what his sexual preferences.
My sons actually both got them.
And what were they?
You know, they were just very nasty, menacing. I'm coming for you. I mean, they were long. One was very long. The other was not.
I remember mine. I memorized mine.
What was yours?
Roses are red, violets are blue. Season 1 is over. We all played you.
Wow.
I mean, it was
And what did the private investigator find?
He believed it could be Jen.
Like,
so
really
do you
bad.
think there's no second chances in life? Is that what we're all deciding?
I don't know about that. Some people just go too far. And she's one of them. She lied all the way up until the day she couldn't. And
That's
she
fair.
looked us in our eyes and convinced, I'm innocent. And I mean, she could have
is there
got
just
an
no
Emmy.
hope then?
She
Is that
said
what
that
we
you
say?
and I did something to make her go to prison.
We got to Zion's and we were sitting down at dinner. That was the first time I saw Meredith after Heather and I had talked. And I had kind of like had this aha moment that, like, oh my gosh, did Meredith call the feds? And then that's when I walked over to Meredith and I was like, if you had anything to do with the bullshit allegations against me, you are effing disgusting. She's like, oh, do you really want to go there? And I was like, absolutely. I want to go there. For once in your life, Meredith, please go there. Yes.
I felt like I was under such an attack and such an irrational attack. Everyone's questioning me about why I wasn't in the Sprinter van. They know I didn't turn Jen in. Everybody knew. It was public information all over the internet that this had gone on for nearly a decade, the investigation. How could I have been responsible? So why would you say that, you know? And why would you twist and turn the facts of something that I had told you into something they were not?
And that's when she wouldn't answer the question. So I felt like it's a very simple question. Yes or no, bitch. Did you do it or not? But again, she doesn't answer. And that's why I was like, you know what? You're the fraud, because she is the fraud.
She blamed us. Like I would have said, no, I'm not taking your call, Jen Shah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, you know, she's serving her time and paying the restitution that she can. And I'm told that Coach is assisting and paying restitution as well. So what else can you ask for?
Yeah. And how do you kind of, as a friend, how do you reconcile with that versus, you know, hey, she did a thing. It wasn't great. There's certainly victims involved. I think anyone in our lives that we care about, you know, we want to offer grace for the same reasons that we hope people offer us grace, you know, if we fuck up, you know, and then we have to kind of measure the fuck up versus like, am I even capable of doing like that, something like that? And so how have you reconciled your relationship with Jen versus like what she did and kind of where she is now, if there has been any growth or, you know, reconciliation on her part?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very hopeful that there's, you know, been growth. I don't know because I'm not in consistent communication with her, but from what I'm, you know, told that is working on herself very hard. It's interesting to me because I think a lot of people didn't understand what happened in season 3 and how I was able to, you know, be there for Jen and why I was able to turn my attitude around with her, especially after what we went through with Brooks and how, you know, obviously I'm very protective of Brooks. I don't think anyone would debate that. And the reality is, you know, Jen during that time had, you know, made an attempt on her life. And I went through that with my nephew at that same point in time, and it weighed very heavy on me. And I made a commitment to myself that, you know, if in fact she was innocent, then I'd stand by and, you know, help her work through that and get the help she needed at that point. And if in fact she was not, I was not. She needed support, and I couldn't watch that with what I had been through, and so I just let it all go.
Ew. Like JK, but like maybe not. But thank you for watching. But you hating ass bitches always have something to say. Hating ass bitch, but you're still watching my vids. What? You're so upset. But that's like okay, because have a piece of bread, have a Xanax, relax, because I said what I said.